Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are doing a very intense art piece. So another reason why I was gone for most of May was I was approached at WonderCon by a guy named Matt to create a really intricate and amazing Dungeons and Dragons commission. Oh, and hold on, before you guys start messaging me about commissions, yes, I will be opening commissions after VidCon, so expect me to post something probably mid to end July, and I'm gonna start opening commissions because I'm trying to make this gig kind of my full-time thing, and I really want to gauge if you guys would like to buy art from me, you know, like if you have anything from like an icon or like a full character that you want designed or like a monster drawn. That's what I'm planning on doing, so hold your horses, don't comment yet, but expect commissions opening at the end of July 2019. So either way though, when someone approaches me at a convention asking about a commission, usually I'm like, yeah, for sure, like email me, let's talk about it. And this one just sounded way too cool to pass up. This would be probably the most intricate commission I've ever done. So basically what Matt wanted was a Dungeons and Dragons commission where the main party of 4 were pictured in one of the settings from their campaign. This one specifically was in Trollskull Manor, in the tavern within this manor, and I thought that just sounded really cool. We got the 4 main characters, plus a couple of fun side characters to go along with the story and lore that they're doing in their D&D campaign. And speaking of D&D, before we get into the drawing, I just wanted to plug that I finished my Creature Compendium. So this is the Complete McCaigue Creature Compendium Volume 1. Basically, this is filled with over 50 monsters that are all spec'd out and ready to go in your Dungeons and Dragons game. All the monsters were designed by me, and they all have the full lore and specs, so you can just plop them right in, and then it gives your players like an interesting and new monster that they don't know and they don't know anything about, so it makes the game very fun and unpredictable. So if you guys would like some new monsters for your Dungeons and Dragons and games, make sure to go to KatelynMcCaigue.com/shop. I'll have a link down in the description to pick up your copy of the McCaigue Creature Compendium. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this really intense, really awesome commission. I hope you guys like watching along and seeing the progress and process of me tackling this giant piece. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in and get this piece started. So first off, I started in SketchUp to kind of just make a general layout of this scene. I honestly am not super strong at perspective and buildings. I feel that's still kind of one of my weaknesses, and I really wanted to make sure I nailed this commission. So I started off by just like putting in some very basic blocks so I could figure out where the bar goes, where the walls are, and just plan it from there. So after I had that figured out and laid out, I exported a screenshot of it and just kind of placed the characters in. And from there, I just decided to build the scene slowly, first of all starting with the characters, and then Matt also requested to have a lot of like fun little cool details. Like he listed a bunch of stuff that they had done during their campaign, some fun facts about the characters, what they brew there in the tavern, and just some items and different things to put around the bar. So I kept that in mind while also decorating and filling this place out. This was a pretty daunting task in terms of making this big scene. Like I'm glad I did it because this is one of the things I do want to get better on. Like I want to be able to draw internal scenes and buildings and sceneries and such a lot better. So you guys might be seeing at least some practices or some pieces in the near future with me trying it out. But yeah, I still feel I need to keep practicing it, keep getting better at it. But I do really like how this one turned out after getting the big chunks laid out and sketching in where the characters went and all the shelves and all the little details and things. I was really proud of this one. This one was just such a big undertaking and took me so many hours. I think, oh no, I don't know where my note went. I think it took me, I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to look up how many hours it took, and I'll probably list it somewhere in this video. Maybe at the beginning saying like, it took me this many hours, because oh boy, it took a very, very long time. Actually, every clip in this Speedpaint is spread up to around 5,000% to be able to get it to a watchable length, just because it took so much time. I bet I could do the math for that real quick. If I did, I think, what is this, almost 15 minutes worth of video times 5,000? Someone do the math. But either way, I'm going to list how much time, maybe it was already listed earlier in this video, but I'll let you guys know how long this piece took, because dang, it did take a long time. Also, one thing I'm going to point out that kind of comes up later is I mixed up some of the, well, actually only one of the genders of the characters. The bard sorcerer was supposed to be female, but I didn't read that part of the email, or maybe I didn't know. Either way, I made the sorcerer a dude, so I had to go back and fix that. So you'll see later on I'm going to be replacing that character, but this is context, so you know why randomly I erase out a character and replace it. I think another really fun part of this was adding in all those special little details. It's really fun to be able to, I guess, build a piece off of someone's experiences and learning more about these characters through the little details. Like our little halfling, his previous master is that little mouse sitting on his shoulder, and then we learn about this drow and some backstory on that character. And our lizard folk, like, it was really fun to hear, like, he laughs too much and just like has this interesting blow darts thing where he kills rats and eats them. And just also learning about, oh no, I can't remember the race name. The one with the angel wings. Oh no, it starts with an A. I'm a terrible D&D nerd. Either way, that character handcrafted their new leather armor, so they wanted it very intricate and artistic. So learning about those things really helped inform me how to design and make these characters look really cool. So I just had a blast starting from basically ground zero with these guys. I had a couple of sentences of each of just like some fun backstory about them, maybe some requests on extra details to add to the character. But besides that, it was kind of in my court to run with it and design these guys. And I'm just glad that Matt and his players really liked the depictions of their characters, because I just had so much fun. I think one of my favorite things to do is character design. Like I love creature and monster design, but characters is another one of my top favorite. It would probably be monster design is my number one thing, and then right after that is character design, because I just love giving personality to characters and adding those fun little intricate things. One fun story, just to do a side tangent, there is a animation convention in California called CTN Expo. I went, oh man, I don't even know how many years ago, probably at least 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago, because it was right around when I started YouTube. I have a vlog on it actually on this channel. Ooh man, you want to see some old Katelyn vlogging? That's where you go. But for CTN Expo, I opted in for a portfolio review, because this was when I still would love to, but this was when I was really pushing to get into the animation industry. Like I wanted to go work for like Nickelodeon or Rooster Teeth and do character design or monster design. Like that was my career goal. And I mean, it still is a big goal of mine, but now it's kind of shifted to wanting to do YouTube, open my own business, start my own series and show. But still, it's like one of my favorite things to do is character and monster design. So I did the portfolio review to see how I would improve, and I got really lucky. There's an amazing artist online. Her name is Loish. My portfolio was reviewed by her. It was really cool. And one of the things that she told me that she liked in my character designs was adding kind of those extra little details, and then my color combining, like my color theory behind some of the characters. But she really liked, I had a Dragonborn rogue that I designed forever ago for one of my D&D campaigns, and she liked the additions of like the extra knives, or like wanted to know the backstory of why I added this to the character. And it was just cool. Like, I think that was a really fun and awesome experience, and just getting feedback on doing character design and what I was doing right was really cool. And honestly, like, Loish is a big inspiration for me. Like, I've backed basically all of her Kickstarter books. I think I might have missed like one when I didn't have a job or something. I don't even remember, but her work is amazing. So if you guys haven't seen her, please check her out. I think she's one of like she's like the shining example of how someone took their online art career and turned it into like a full-time art career. It's just really cool. Big inspiration for me. I really look up to her, and she's like really cool. So that was awesome. So yeah, and then at CTN Expo, I also got some other really cool, insightful character design tips for anyone who is listening who wants to be an aspiring character designer. here's a breakdown of some fun things that I learned and get some free tips for you guys. So one thing, probably one of the best bits of advice that I got was from when I had my portfolio reviewed by artists at Pixar. And it was really insightful because I didn't really think of it until then. And this was when I was younger, like, 22, 23. I was probably around that age, maybe a little bit older. I mean, it's not that much younger. I'm not, like, way older than that. But either way, it feels like I was, mentally, I was younger. Like, I feel I've grown a lot mentally as an artist. But I'm getting off track. When I went and got my portfolio reviewed by Pixar, I had my Jack and the Beanstalk redesign. I gave myself a project back then to redesign Jack and the Beanstalk in a different cultural setting. And I decided to do Indonesia. And I based all of my designs around that. I looked up the buildings to do the giant's house. I looked up different bits of architecture and lore to do like the giant's design. The giant I ended up basing off of some of the demon designs that they have in their lore. And then the characters I also based off of, you know, the different clothing that is in that society, along with the golden geese was a geese that's native there. And same with like the cow that he has, like all those little details. Oh, and the beanstalk, I made like a lychee beanstalk instead of just a normal beanstalk. So I used what I thought would be really interesting for that culture and setting after doing a lot of research. But the Pixar artist pointed out to me, she asked, like, did I look up the color meaning in that society? I'm like, oh shit, no, I didn't think of that. And funny story, I guess her husband had just recently went to Indonesia. Like, of all the places I could have picked and it could have happened, of course they went to Indonesia. And she talked to me about how in their society, the clothing colors you wear make a difference in terms of meanings, which kind of makes sense. You know, for us, we have the bride wears white to a wedding to show purity. And it's kind of the same idea. The different colors that people wear have different symbolisms and meaning to it. Like, I understood like color theory. Like, you could always say, like, you would say like, if you had a character that was in red, black, and gold, usually sometimes black and red are used for villainous characters, while like blues and greens and silvers are used for heroes. I'm not saying this is 100% all the time, but there's certain colors and such that are related to certain archetypes. But it kind of changes from culture to culture, which, you know, it makes sense that that's the case. So she brought up that certain colors that I had my main character wearing didn't really fit the social class or like had a different type of meaning to it. One of the colors, I don't remember this 100%, but I feel one of the colors was like perfect for the character because of what it symbolized, but then the rest of them didn't fit perfect. So I never thought about like, oh man, I should fully research the culture to that extent. So that was a really good experience for me in terms of learning how to do character design and thinking about your character overall. So I would say, yes, do research on the culture or design that you're basing characters off of, and even do further in-depth research about the colors that you pick for them within those cultures. That was really good for me to hear and to know, so I think you guys could benefit from knowing that when you go and design your characters. And I've actually been thinking about, I would love to teach some classes on the things I've learned. I'm not saying I'm a subject matter expert. Like, I feel I'm still growing and learning, and I feel honestly all artists grow and learn throughout their career, but I know I get a lot of messages from different viewers asking about more tutorials or classes. So I just have a quick poll question for you guys, especially since you've made it this far in the video. You might actually be interested in this. I would like to know, if I taught a class on Skillshare or through some other type of platform, would you guys watch it? I probably potentially would put it behind a paywall just to help me make this like a business, because I really would like to start doing YouTube and art full time, and by having a class that is teachable and like getting some type of income from it honestly would potentially help that in the future. So let's just say if I taught a class on Skillshare, would you want to watch it? If I did it on character design or creature design, I either will do it for free on the platform or behind a paywall. We're just going to say class, just default. Don't even think about price or anything. Just let me know if I was to make a class, would you participate in it? And then from there, if you guys have something you'd like to learn in said class, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. I really want to do a character design and a creature design session, because I did do a tutorial forever ago on this channel. Like, it needs, going back and watching that, I'm like, it's a good starting point, but certain things about it, I'm like, oh man, I should have said this, or I should have talked about this in terms of monster design. And I didn't even think about it back then, but now I know better. But I had that one tutorial, and I know I want to do more classes for you guys and such. So if there's something else that you can think of that you've been wanting to learn or know more about, I can try my best to see if my skill set kind of lines up with that in the future. But just let me know down in the comments if there's a class or a skill that you've been itching to learn. I'd love to try making some classes for you guys. So now going back to the piece, we're pretty far into it. I started out by, like I said, sketching and blocking out all the places. We did the line art, and then I blocked out the different characters depending on if they were like foreground, background, midground. I tried to keep it as organized as possible so then I could easily get to the different layers that I needed. But like I said earlier, guys, I'm slowly trying to improve my backgrounds. I've been doing a lot of practice and sketching and like studies when I can. So I feel this was like a really good, I guess, stepping stone for learning more about doing these type of things, because I haven't done one of these in a very long time, like a really big background piece in a very, very long time. I'm trying to think when the last time was, and God, I don't even remember. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really draw environments much, and I think I should do it. I think I should for sure do it more, but I feel this one like came together really well for not doing it in a long time. I really like how it looks and how it turned out overall. So now that we're getting kind of closer to the end, this was kind of after my first major passes with Matt, trying to figure out what things I could change or improve on, or if there's any things that he needed changed within the piece. And like I said earlier, this is when I found out about the bard character needing to be female. So I just quickly redid that one, and I went around and just kind of looked at different colors to see what I liked and what I didn't like. One of the small nitpicks I had for myself was I did not like the halfling changeling having blonde hair. I thought it was way too bright down there in the corner, so I made sure to update that. And then we did a couple of different updates and changes throughout the piece to make sure everything lined up with Matt's vision and his characters and their campaign. And yeah, I can't tell you guys enough how crazy busy I was with this. It was a really big undertaking. I still really like how it turned out, but man, it was a lot. It was a lot of work. I think I'll put the total hours. I said it earlier. I'm gonna put it here at the end to show you guys how long it took, and then maybe we could say how many layers I have, because that would be really fun. But either way, super fun. And like I said before, I plan on trying to open commissions sometime soon, but I'm trying to figure out how to balance everything. If I already did this full time, I'd be like, yeah, let's go, let's do more commissions. But it's kind of hard to balance with my full-time job at the moment. But either way, keep your eyes out on my Twitter, Instagram. I'll probably do a little post here on YouTube. I might not do a video, but I will do a community post to let you guys know that the commissions are open. I mean, I might do a video. We're just gonna have to see how it goes, but either way, keep your eyes out, and I hope to open commissions soon. All right, so here we are. Here is the final commission piece, and I am like super proud of this because I think one of the things I struggle with a lot is environments and backgrounds and lighting, and I feel this one I kind of got a little bit closer to where I want to be in terms of drawing environments. So I had a lot of fun really illuminating the main party. I just kind of imagined like a really nice fireplace going near them and just really lighting up the main bar area. And then we have a couple of background side characters that Matt included in his email. We have the dwarf bar hand along with a halfling orphan that helps around the tavern. And then here we have a bard sorcerer who comes and plays on her lute in the tavern. And then we have this band of doppelgangers, which I was told was one of their recent encounters, where we have this purple intimidating tiefling along with these two halfling children who are very deceptive in their ways. And then one of the big achievements of the party was them slaying this rot troll. So of course they had to put the head on display to show their achievements. So yeah, this was the giant commission that I did, and I absolutely love how it turned out. This was a really great challenge, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And Matt, I hope you like it. Thank you so much for commissioning me. And again, before you guys message me, I will be trying to open commissions towards the end of July. So thanks again, guys, so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I have new videos every week, ranging from my 100 Dragon Challenge to Monster Mashes to a lot of other great and fun art videos. I got a lot of cool ones coming up, so make sure you guys hit that bell button as well, so then you're notified as soon as I post them. And thank you guys so much for your continued support, and if you would like to support the channel even more, why don't you check out the Creature Compendium over at KatelynMcCaigue.com/shop. Thanks again, guys, so much for stopping by, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.